lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me.
With 2 races left, we come to what could possibly be the wild card on your way to get into or be.
I wasn't either, so unfortunately I can't fill you in too much there, but hopefully it was a great race to watch, as I'm sure this one will be, although I fear that the name may be slightly too accurate. Yep, and it's also worth mentioning that we got a few drivers outside of the top 30 currently who have a win. Linus Broström being one of them, who I understand today is not subbing today and next week. He is going to be running for 4 points in the number 16. And Francisco Villarreal also looking to get his way towards that top 30, as if you're in the top 30 and you've got to win, you're in. Fair enough. I mean, obviously it helps if you've got real life experience coming in, but it's definitely not the same as we've seen previously with other drivers coming into sim racing. Maybe he's got a background in sim racing as well. Who knows? I don't really know, to be honest. But we'll see how he can do. Looking good. Yeah, we're going to see some interesting bumping here. I can tell you that for sure. And then you get the guys like me who are just not purely not good at short tracks. That's why I'm up here in the booth. Yeah, trouble is my right foot is made out of pure uranium, so it comes down a little too quick. Believe it's Jackson car. And one thing to mention, you may have noticed already, these, for the most part, are not the real life paints, as the 66 can firmly attest to. But from what I'm seeing, as it is open paint night, we are obviously one day away from All Hallows Eve, Halloween, and having an open paint night to celebrate at the horror show at Martinsville. I'm sure that's a reference. Fair enough. Of Linus Brostrom? I think that's meant to be like that. That's just meant to be painted on. I see a number underneath. Yeah. In what appears to be a Galaxy self-sponsored car, with some sponsors that we know all too well from the Swedish e-racing league. Yeah. No? To be honest, I feel sorry for you if you've hashed qualifying on this one, because of all the places that you'd want to start up at the front, here is, well, exactly that place. Yep, row number 11 is going to go to Brian Treadwell and JB Banner, with row 12 going to Mike Iskandar and Chris V. Matty Moniak rounds out the top 25, and he's joined on row 13 by Alex Weggett. And the last of the qualifiers, and in row number 14, we are going to have Chris Worrell and Bob Wyckoff. Row number 15, Taylor Butch Benjamin and Jalen Battle as the first drivers to not set a qualifying time, and will be penalised for that. And then in row number 16, Curtis Kelly and Ricky Hudgens. And then row 17, Tommy Stanley is unfortunately going to be feeling a little bit lonely, as he's the only one on his row. Oh, we are, and there's an interesting discussion going on in the drivers' chat at the moment, in the fact that we are actually accidentally running unlimited tire sets. It was being set, and Apparently that setting decided not to save, so these are the things we compete with in sim racing. This happens, and the race will change slightly as such. It would have been 5 extra sets, but it's... Yeah. It's still not going to be the best strategy to just pit whenever, because this is Martinsville. Good luck passing easily. But they're not going to need to worry. Yep. Tony, the playoff standings are still up on the screen. That's fine. Thank you, James. Drivers like to keep a keen eye on our broadcast. Nope, that's a great idea to bump up our viewership. Please like and subscribe while driving as well. We really appreciate it.
My mic has been off most of this time, but it helps if you subscribe from the hospital bed after the crash. But lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. Brostrom's going to have the button as the field works its way into the 3-4 complex. Geico restart zone is in effect tonight. The only thing he's left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some popcorn because it's time to get it on in Martinsville. Race fans, it's showtime!
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, and it's happened already. That's the 5 cars around.
Let's see what happened to Steven Sear here.
Oh my goodness, the 14 came in pretty hot.
You see the 1 and the 14 diving it. Whoa. Let's take a look at what happened to Caleb Butcher Benjamin in the double deuce. Is he showing up as having problems too? You see him back there, well behind the carnage. Oh my. That was the 52 of Ricky Hudgens losing it and going right down into Butcher Benjamin. Benjamin nowhere to go. Ouch. Well then, that didn't take long at all, did it?
Unfortunately not. And I think this is not the only time we're going to be seeing the iRacing.com pace car out in front of the field. But it gives us some time to have a look at some liveries and see what we appreciate in this field.
Yeah, absolutely. But Jason, if you remember correctly, the last time we were here, these guys had the pace car lead the most laps. As the lights are already out on that Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car. Brostrom going to have the trigger as we try this again.
Yeah, we will try and get it going again, and hopefully there isn't a massive send from anyone this time round, as Linus Brostrom going to have the button as
Green flag, green
come
flag.
around to the green, and he's already gone.
Opens the door for Carnes in the 21 to pull alongside of the car. That's not going to get confusing, trust me. As everybody so far playing nicely. The 4 of Angel Hernandez trying to get around the hard way on Mikkel Hegstrom. And does
Yellow
so.
flag is out.
Crap. Something happened to the boss lady.
It did. I'm just taking a look through it. Curb. That's the one word that's able to
Yep.
describe that.
That's exactly what happened. She caught the curb on corner exit trying to keep it low. And snap, see you, bye. No real hard contact there, so able to get it rolling again. I believe that's going to put a single file on this next restart, Jason.
Negative. We're going to be double file again. That's
Okay. One other thing to be mindful of, and we haven't mentioned this yet, but they are disabling all driver communications except for your in-channel Discord servers during green flag action.
I don't see them disabling the driver chat. I just think they're being encouraged to not chat too much.
I'm just going off what I was told prior to us going green.
So gonna make this a spoiler-free zone for the real-life race, but I'd recommend watching the ending when you get a chance. That's all I'll say.
Well, did you see the Xfinity race yesterday?
Parts of it, yeah.
Jason, what do we normally say is the #1 team rule?
Is it, don't take out your teammate, but if you do, make sure it's a highlight for the rest of the week or year.
Correct, sir. And when the team owner's grandson takes out a teammate to eliminate them from the playoffs, I dare say that's going to be a highlight. Well, maybe not a highlight, but
It gets press coverage, to be fair.
yeah. But lights are out on the pace car here at Martinsville as part of the SNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Helps if I turn the overlay on. There we go. You might notice that the numbers are a little bit easier to read tonight. Here we go. Brostrom has the button as he brings the field into the Geico restart zone one more time. Jumps on the loud pedal as Carr and Carnes go door to door, just swapping positions. This time Carr's got the easier line to the inside as he wrestles second away from Carnes. Behind them, that's Grosso and Hagman going after each other. Grosso on the top shelf, Hagman on the low side. A little Hendrick on Childress action going on there.
Still action going on.
Still door to door.
Proven that you can go side by side through Martinsville and make it work. But I think Hagman's going to... Okay.
Dan Solo pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. Let's go back and take a look at what happened there.
Oh, that's a weird wall collision. He's ripped the right front off that car.
He's got the 41 to his outside. You know, that's the third time this week I've seen something like that happen. Where you hit the seam in the safer barrier and it just stops you dead.
Yeah. It's just a wall grab. That,
yeah, that
in theory
shouldn't
have happened. I think his right front would have been gone anyway.
Well, he would have damaged it. He probably would have bent both arms, but it wouldn't have turned it into a Bluetooth suspension piece.
Yeah, not necessarily.
So, yeah, that is definitely less than good.
Yeah, no, but I'm not going to say that Linus Brostrom will be happy with all these cautions, but it certainly makes his job a bit easier because he's got the art of putting the right foot down done pretty well.
And making sure that he doesn't get run over from behind getting to turn one.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to make a note of this, Jason. I think we need to start calling Brian Chu the Candyman. Every car in every series that I broadcast that Brian is in, every car I have seen him in this season has had candy somewhere on it. Like Friday night, he ran in the iRacing East Super Speedway Series, driving the Charleston Chew Buick. And if you've never had a Charleston Chew, it's chocolate-covered toffee.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to start calling Brian Chu the Candyman.
Yep, and speaking of, there's another M&M's livery that I remember seeing. I believe it's on the...
38 is Zach Phillips, which is the old Ken Schrader ride. Before they went to the Schwans.
I think one of my favorites of this field at the moment, as we're lights are out on the pace car once again, is number 4 of Angel Hernandez. He's got the boosh.
I see that.
I just find that quite funny.
As the pace car is in, Brostrom brings him into the Geico restart zone one more time.
Green flag, green flag.
Drops the hammer and we are underway. As this time, Carnes spun the tires a little bit. Carr able to wrestle it away, and Carnes has to be careful because that's defending series champion Marcus Hagman picking his way up through the field. Hernandez and Grosso go side by side going into turn number 3.
I've still got some action here for 7th as well, as the 1 and 2 cars were going after each other.
Looks like Tommy Stanley having issues. take a look at what happened to the 55 here.
Huh. I don't think there's any other way to say it. He just spun.
Way too aggressive on the loud pedal on corner exit, and around she went. Just completely washed it. Well then.
You know, I don't think they need the unlimited tyre sets here if this is anything to go by.
Fourth caution.
I feel like the tyre wear on Linus Brostrom's tyres are going to be probably about 2 at this point in time.
Well, the thing you got to keep in mind too is, you know, you're going to use more rear tire than... If you drive the car properly, you're going to use more rear tire than front tire here at Martinsville. But you're going to... Trying to get off the corner, you're going to need both rear tires, especially later in the fuel run.
I mean, unfortunately, you're definitely using more rear with how it's going at the moment, as well as that's the tyre you use on restarts.
Unfortunately, you're correct. And if we do happen to get more than a 2-lap run, watch how much the rear brake rotors are going to be glowing here tonight at Martinsville. Because that's the one thing these guys have figured out since this next-gen car came out, is you need to use the rear brakes, almost like a drifter would, to initiate the rotation.
Yeah. It's a real art form, and I think this is...
I can't do it.
Yeah, same. And I think this is one of the parts of sim racing where the equipment that you have really helps, because if you've got a load cell brake pedal versus a more standard potentiometer based system, it's going to be quite a lot easier to get that consistent pressure on the brakes as opposed to just sort of half guesswork.
Well, the other thing, too, is there are a couple load cell pedals out there that also have force feedback in them. So if you start to lock the wheels up, it'll vibrate the pedal.
Yeah, we are once again lights off on the pace car, and the 66 was a bit hesitant to get into his position, but we are here now, and probably seeing Linus Brostrom do the same thing as he has done.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Green, green, green.
Waited a little longer on it that time.
Ooh, the 4's been pushed quite wide out the back. And the 4's got quite a bit of damage.
I think part of that had to do with the 47 at Grosso blinking on the restart.
Oh, 41's been turned by the 38.
Yellow flag is out.
We saw that one live.
Good catch. Fortunate for the 45. So is anyone keeping count?
5.
Oh, okay. So we're only on track for about 40.
Brian Chu know where to go. The 45 jumps the curb, gasses it while still on the grass, and sends that one around. The 19 and the 99 stack up, know where to go. The Martinsville Horror Show and the 19. Very fitting, John Hopley. Well then.
Yeah, let's hope that we can get a nice run in here as, well, it's nicer for literally everyone involved.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Because I can hear from the driver's chat that they're getting a bit annoyed. It's not the best to drive. It's unfortunately not the best to view either, but
Yeah.
we'll just keep calling it as it happens and see what we can make work here up in the booth. One thing that I have noticed actually is that Skylar Khan's made a position on the 66. So we'll see whether that's going to change anything on this next restart, whether Skylar's going to be able to take the fight to Linus here, as we are going to be going green this time round.
Allegedly.
In theory, if everyone's caught up.
Well, we're
His
about to
car is
find out.
off.
Here we go.
Green, green, green.
Ooh, that's ugly.
Yeah, really not a good restart. Skylar Khan's there, and bonk, bonk, bonk for the cars behind him. 66 taking that position back.
Carnes battles back on the
Where is
top
he?
shelf, though. Oh, around goes the
Yellow,
one.
yellow, yellow.
Oh dear.
It's a fine how do you do. Same thing that we saw earlier on the 2 eats the outside wall.
Yeah, the one went around, and then at the same time, the 2 and the 38 got into it. A little bit of netcode helped there, but that looked like it would have happened either way. Skylar Khan's is able to keep that second position. And
We're watching with Mikkel Hagstrom right now is he tried to take evasive action. The only problem was the 38 was there. So as he tried to come up the track, the 38 nowhere to go, and car high, bud.
yeah. And despite the fact that we've had a total of probably, 5 racing laps? Maybe?
Less than that, I think.
We've got multiple drivers who are already in the double digits of positions gained. Alex Wegert having gained 18, Chris Worrell gaining 16, JB Banner gaining 10, Ricky Hudgens currently our biggest mover, going up 19 spots. Will be 20 as Zach Phillips has come into the pits. And Jalen Battle up 15 as it stands.
Yep. There's Jalen Battle. That is a
Speaking of
wild
coming
paint
into
scheme on
pits,
that car.
ooh,
On
lovely.
Battle's
I
car.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of coming into the pits, what do you do if you're the leader?
What do you mean, what do you do?
Well, if we've got something like this where a decent portion of the race can be run under caution, what is your strategy for tires if you're the leader? Just don't? And pray?
Not yet.
Oh, definitely not yet, but when it comes to it, he's got to be thinking about it at some point, because if you go in, then second isn't going in.
No, I'm taking
If
tires.
second goes in, you're probably not.
As soon as I go in, we know Linus knows how to get the most out of a fuel tank.
Yeah.
So if I'm anybody else, if I can hang with him, I'm hanging with him, and I'm taking 4 every pit stop.
Yeah. I think
you can't not take tires here.
Yeah. So we think it's just going to be in when you're out of fuel then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sounds about right. As Brostrom once again going to have the button. He's had enough practice of it and gets it right once again.
Gets a little bit of the chrome horn from Jackson Carr in the 66 as Skylar Karn sends it going into 1, does get the clear on second. Battle right now, Chris Worrell was in a 3-wide situation as the 4 Hernandez wisely bailing out there. Skylar Carnes goes pit side. And around goes the 9.
Yellow flag is out.
Carnes must have had something to serve.
Come on. All right.
Can we call that the curb of death? That's that curb now has 2 victims.
See JB Banner. Yep. Hits it with the front of the car and washes the front out. Tried to correct it, and around she went.
So, Skylar Khan's clearly picked up some sort of stop-go. You know how you have to serve that under green?
Yeah.
Caution came out while he was serving it before he stopped, so it didn't serve.
Now, did he have a stop and go, or did he just have a pass-through?
Whatever passing the leader is.
Check the race info.
It seems like it's going to be cleared anyway. Yeah, okay. That's been cleared.
It's probably for the previous restart where he tried to anticipate and guessed wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he had to try something to try and break this duck, but it's a lot to risk at this point in time.
And that's really all these drivers are doing all race long is risk versus reward for everything that you're doing. So, Brostrom, Carr, Grosso, Hagman, Weigert, Robinson, Worrell, Weimer, Hernandez, and Hudgens. Ricky Hudgens, your current biggest mover at plus 22 just getting into the top 10.
Yeah. You got to be there to gain the positions, and whenever something unfortunate happens, there is someone fortunate enough to gain out of it. So far, he's been on the correct side of fate, and has had the skill to avoid any instance that may be around in front or behind him.
Yeah, I could see that.
Lights out once again, and Tony, do you see that cone in the middle of the track as well?
Green one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a hazard. And they should remove the phantom green cone.
I don't think it's a phantom green cone.
Green, green, green.
I think you're just seeing the pit exit cone getting kicked out onto the track.
Anyway, we are green, and oh yeah, it's moved back. Marcus Hagman on the throttle. And that just shows you that anyone can do that. Literally anyone can fall foul to just getting on the power a bit too early.
Generally referring to that as stepping on one's own junk.
Yes. Okay, Hagman, unfortunately for him, doing that.
For the most part, everybody else doing a great job to avoid him.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the easiest thing to avoid. He only seemed to get a few bumps, but those are understandable.
A little bit of an update on our four biggest movers so far. Alex Weigert and Chris Worrell sitting 4th and 5th are up 22. Jalen Battle up 20, sitting in 10th. And the 50 deuce of Ricky Hudgens right in front of him in 9th is plus 23 currently. Those are your biggest movers in the positive direction. Let's not talk about the other way.
Yeah, no, there are a few names down there that we don't necessarily expect to see down there. But it just hasn't gone their way so far, and well, we've seen that you can make up a load of positions, so if there are candidates to do so, it's the ones that we've seen up towards the front. But those biggest movers as well, just definitely making up for their maybe slightly worse than they anticipated qualifying.
I'm just wondering how long it's going to be before they decide to go single file on these restarts.
Good question. We'll find out. Are you still keeping a number?
8th caution.
Cool. I'm not going to do the maths as to what that projects us to.
$40.
Yeah.
And I dare say we're going to go on.
Green flag,
What
green
are
flag.
you guys doing?
I completely missed whatever happened there.
Linus Broster and Jackson Carr were just leaning on each other coming off a 4. Linus ran everybody up the racetrack and then jumped on the loud pedal.
Yellow flag is out.
Well, it didn't have any different outcome to what we've been seeing so far. So
yeah, that caused bumper cars in the mid-pack. 3-wide situation. Caution number 9.
oh well.
Well then. So if you're playing the at-home drinking game, taking a drink every time we have a caution, might want to tell your family to dial 9-1 and then wait till they hear you throw up before they dial the next one. Hopefully no.
Or if you are
Go ahead.
watching from anywhere else in the world, then I believe the most common other number would be 112, I think.
999.
That's here in the UK, yeah, but that's not shared by the rest of Europe. Why couldn't we just come up with one number? That'll be easier.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm pretty sure France has different emergency numbers for different things.
Because France.
I'm gonna look this up. We're gonna need something to talk about. If you ever find yourself in the country of Chad and you need to call an ambulance, you should dial 22514242.
Yeah, that's easy to remember.
Yeah. Simple, right?
Might just as well call 867-5309, ask for Jennifer. And if you get that joke, you are definitely over the age of 40. Brostrom has the button one more time. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
John Grosso asleep at the switch. It's going to let Worrell get the position on him for third. Worrell with a good head of steam coming down the backstretch as the 66 bails out and goes pit.
Black flag, falling for the same thing that Skylar did. That's 14 and 47 going at it.
It's Grosso in the 47, Robertson in the 14. Hey. 14 of Robertson.
Ooh, 43 gone.
And there.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
All I can say is, at least that time around, we got opportunity for lap times under 20 seconds.
Take a look at what did happen to the Thomas 43 of Alex Weigert. Looks like the back end tried to step out. He tried to correct, overcorrected, and the 4 Hernandez caught a race car to the face. So we're on board with Hernandez here. Ow.
That is the general reaction when you've got a race car right in front of you.
Well then. I believe this is caution 10. Yes, it is. 10th caution. Yep. So, Jason, I'm going to ask you this. Give me your top 5 bucket list tracks.
Do they need to be ovals?
Any track anywhere in the world.
Good, good. Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Okay.
Go with like the full layout. Honestly, Daytona Road Course.
Okay, so for the Rolex 24, gotcha.
Yeah. Very solid track. Watkins Glen is one of my favorites as well.
Okay.
I'd say pretty much any race there.
All right.
For another 2, I'd probably have to think about it. I really like Brands Hatch. Just because it's a local one to me, and I've been there a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Tracks that you haven't been to.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess I'll give a think to the other 2 and then let you know under the next caution.
All right.
Lights are out, and then we can do yours after that one.
And then in the live chat, let us know what your 5 bucket list tracks are that you've never been to and would love to go to. Brostrom has the button one more time. Let's see what type of thing Chris Laurel can do here.
Flag.
As there we go. Here comes Robertson to the inside of Worrell, going through 1 and 2. Everybody gives a little bit of distance. Everybody keeps it clean up in front of this piece anyways. There's Jason Ricketts in the number 7, trying to peek his way through. Colin Forrester works his way around the top side. Looking to bring Weigert with him.
Weigert's already that far up, as the last caution was him, and he did get hit quite hard, so fair enough to him.
Yeah. A lot of battling going on here just outside the top 5. Actually, just outside the top 10. There's now Curtis Kelly and Jason Ricketts going after each other. Here comes the 6 of James Bowles as well. Ricketts on a backslide. He's got to stop the hemorrhaging.
Unfortunately, Brian Treadwell is not doing too much better. Okay, that was a jump scare from my perspective.
Okay, what just happened to Brian Chu?
Something made of spin. Ooh. He got help.
Oh, he got a lot of help from the 2.
Let's just bonk. Goodbye.
Looks like Mike Iskandar in the GoPro 99 caught a piece of it. The 27 catches the grass, trying to avoid him. The 66 goes up into the wall. That is definitely no bueno.
Yeah, no. Back to tracks.
Yes.
I'm giving it a little thinky. I think Bathurst, Mount Panorama.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, missed that last one?
It sure is coming. I'm still
Okay, so you got Bathurst.
yeah, it's a difficult one. I've not been to Alton Park. I feel like that would be an interesting interesting track.
Yeah.
So slightly less well known, although it is on the iRacing service.
Well, I'll give you a couple of mine to start this with.
Yeah,
Cirque du Sarth.
that's a fair point. Yeah.
Nordschleife. Nürburgring Nordschleife.
Yeah.
Pikes Peak. The hill climb course.
Yeah.
And I got to go with Mount Panorama, just because you go to a picnic and a fucking race breaks out. Pardon my French. And fifth one, I'm kind of torn between a couple different ones.
Yeah.
So I'll have to think about that one a little bit more.
Why did I hear green flag?
Because we are under green flag.
But I'm in replay.
That would explain why you didn't find out that we're under green flag. So Brostrom, Robertson, Worrell, Grosso, Weimer rounding out your top 10. And we've got
Reckoning
Pablo.
for. That was quite a few cars there.
Yeah, that was the latter half of the field.
One, yeah, might need a bit of a closer look at this one.
Keep your eye on the 6 of James Bowles on the top side. Because this is where timing scoring says that it popped off at. Oh, nope. Kinda. Oi.
Yeah, 38 had a spin. The 6 wouldn't have been able to avoid it. Then the 2 was desperately trying to avoid it. And unfortunately, the 7 was there to collect him. And
yeah, there was a lot of collection in that one. There goes the 38. There goes the 6. The 2 gets into the 7. The 3 goes nowhere to go. The 19 and 99 just annihilate each other. And defending series champion Marcus Hagman's pointing the wrong way on a one-way street.
And Zach Phillips has decided to park it.
Can't say I blame him on that one. This is what Phillips saw.
Yeah.
Here he is in the 38. Little twitchy coming off of 2. Goes into 3. Up on that high side. Dips 2 tires onto the pavement. Around it starts to go. 6 gets into him. Yeah. As much problems as Phillips has had here tonight, might just as well say, yeah, you know what? No mas, and put it on the hauler. Oh, that's what got him. When the 19 and the 9 started to roll again, he was trying to squeeze by on the outside, and it ripped the right front suspension off the car.
I mean, he left saying, well, I'm disqualified, so have a good night. That was a bit preemptive. He was one off being disqualified. But, I mean, lap 82 out of 250, or more realistically, 48 minutes out of 2 hours 25. Actually, to be fair, caution laps are being fairly quick around here, so it might not be that bad.
We're on caution 12, dude.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got one person checking in with their bucket list. Darlington, Martinsville, the Glen, Talladega, and Charlotte. And the only thing international they'd be interested in going to would be Silverstone. Which I can see that.
Green.
Yeah. I have been Silverstone, actually. Pretty nice facility they've got there, as we are green once again.
14 and 77 leaning on each other, coming off of 2. Oh, hey. Ricky Hudgens in the 50 Deuce working on that 15 of Dan Solo. Solo in the only Volvo in the field tonight.
Forrester and Hudgens just behind him, going after each other. That's a Martini Racing paint scheme #1 car.
Weigert just got sent up the track.
Past.
Checking in with John Hopley in the 19. See the heavy front end damage on that Martinsville Horror Show number 19. Just completely caved in. Here comes Superman. 78 of Bob Wyckoff just sends it.
I'm looking up towards the front. Linus Brostrom sure knows how to turn on some pace when he needs to, because he's already got a second gap here.
Yellow.
He's got a second
Well,
gap.
he doesn't anymore, but
He had
he
a
did.
second gap and just that quick lap of the race. As Steven Sear
by the looks of things, simply spun.
Well, let's find out what the Boston Bruins number 5 is doing.
Still, unfortunately, hasn't been able to get going again.
And you could see it there on the 21 of Skylar Carnes, just how heavy those rear brake rotors were glowing going into 3. Carnes goes around, just unfortunately not able to save it. And just like that, we were under caution number 13. So while we were doing this, we were going to step away, pay a couple bills. We'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back here at Martinsville, round number 15 of the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Tony Trapasso and Jason Sofford up in the booth with you for this one. Currently working caution number 13 here tonight in Martinsville. Linus Brostrom has led every lap so far after starting on the pole. Chris Worrell in second place currently sits plus 25 after not getting the qualifying attempt he really wanted. Lights go out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car. Brostrom, Worrell, Robertson, Grosso, Weimer, Forrester, Solo, Skoglund, Kelly, and Jalen Battle rounding out your top 10 as we get ready to turn them back loose to put lap 94 in the books. Not quite at the halfway mark yet, but we're getting there slowly but surely.
I return.
As Brostrom has the button.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag back in the air, and we are back underway just like that. As Robertson looks to the inside of Worrell for a second. Trying to make something happen there as the door gets slammed on Josh Grosso's feet. Robertson plus 12, not too shabby so far as the one of Forrester gets sent up the track and the 15th around.
Nina's around indeed.
Let's see what happened to the lone Volvo in the field.
It was the curb of death.
Surprising.
That's the third victim of that curb now. And I think that overall makes it the sixth driver to effectively spin on their own out of turn 4 as well.
Correct. Now let's take a look at the weather conditions to see if that's going to affect this at all.
No. I don't think so.
Not really. You know, it's about 7:45 in the evening here on the East Coast. In sim, anyways. As only 2-mile-an-hour winds, that's pretty negligible. It's the cold track conditions that are getting everybody. 63-degree ambient air temperature, 65-degree track temperature. And the fact that we haven't had any real hard green flag laps, you know, that's really playing into this. These guys have not gotten these tires up to temperature yet tonight.
No, they haven't. Haven't got the tires up to temperature. They, frankly, probably won't even have that much wear on the tires. I mean, what are we on, 12 cautions now?
No, this is 13, I think.
13?
14.
14. Would you like to know how many the real race had?
Go ahead.
6.
Yeah.
Including the 2 for stage.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but this ain't going particularly well.
Yeah. You're not wrong. So Brostrom, Robertson, Worrell, Grosso, Weimer, Forrester, Skoglund, Battle, Kelly, and Hernandez, your top 10 as we currently sit. 3 of your biggest movers sit in that top 10 as well, with Chris Worrell sitting plus 24 as your biggest mover. Jalen Battle and Curtis Kelly in 8th and 9th, both tied for 22nd. Or 20, up 22, I should say.
Yeah. And James Lowe, I would like to see that as well, although due to an incident we've seen earlier in the race. I'm not sure how well that would work. And I'm not going to say any more for that, just in case anyone hasn't seen our real race.
Well, Ross started changing as a Pillock anyways, so it wouldn't surprise me what he did.
To be honest, it was amazing.
All right,
But
then.
Green flag, green
here we
flag.
go. It's go green coming onto lap 102.
Worrell and Robertson still slugging it out for second place. That's Worrell on the low side. Finally gets the drive off of 2 to wrestle the spot away from that number 4 as Forrester and Weimer go door to door. Forrester on the top shelf, Weimer on the low side. Weimer going to send it going into 1. And that is your battle for 5th. And they still haven't gotten that one sorted out.
And there's an absolute melee here for around 7th place as well. 2 by 2 as we're coming through now. And there's a touch. Hold it together, 41. Are we holding that? We're holding that.
Not
Fair
sure
enough.
he wanted
No,
to, but he did.
Yeah. No caution for that.
Marcus
Which is
Hagman
nice to-
now works the inside of Skoglund.
We're improving.
Proud of you.
Now Derek Cook and Jason Ricketts going at it as well. I think Ricketts just getting the pass off there on the 17.
He's a
As
bad.
the 2 looks to try and make his way back up the field as well, though. Looks like we got lap traffic getting involved as well.
Not quite towards the tail end. As Forrester and Grosso going after each other now. Grosso able to keep it wound up on the top shelf as Forrester picks away at that low side, taking the short way around.
Oh,
Beating
whoa!
and banging, and around goes the 1 in the middle of the backstretch. And you can
That
see
felt like
just how
it was-
heavy those brake rotors are glowing on the 21 of Skylar Carnes.
That felt like he was so close to holding that. I think maybe he was just expecting the 47 to go a bit further up towards the wall, and
Well, let's watch that
he
again.
avoided contact really well.
Here they are coming out of 4. The 1 is going to send it going into 1. And watch the brake rotors on the 21 when he comes into camera view. Even after he's rolling, they're still glowing. So that is something we are going to see more and more of as this night wears on, as we are now working caution. I believe this is 15. 15th caution.
Yep. And I think if you're playing either version of the at-home drinking game, you're not doing particularly well at this point in time.
You're getting close to alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. Now, I hate to ask this question, but what is our caution record?
For a broadcast?
Yeah.
Yours and my is 23 set here last season. The overall for the company is 25 set here. No, 28 set here this past Thursday.
Well, no comment. So we're sort of kind of getting there.
Uncle Daddy, I don't like this game no more.
But hopefully we can get things a bit more sorted out. I mean, you would kind of expect with more cautions that we'd be getting cars that are unable to race, but at this point there still aren't actually that many people who are close to DQ, and no one's had a big enough crash to write their car off.
Except for Tommy Stanley, because he's still in the pits after 50 minutes.
I have a feeling that may be by design, as there is a fast repair in this race.
As the
Go
pace
off
car,
once again.
pace car peels it on off. Brostrom's going to lead us into the Geico restart zone. Worrell looking to go with him.
Green flag.
Green flag comes back out. Worrell in the wrong gear stacks up the outside lane. Checking back in with Jalen Battle as he's slugging it out with Angel Hernandez right now, going into turn number 3. They've got the 10. Oh, don't do it.
That's bravery. Chris Worrell looking pretty brave, making a move up for back up to second place as well.
Got about a car length separation between first, second, third, and then back to Angel Hernandez in 5th.
1 and the 10 were rubbing off each other. Coming through turn 1.
That would explain why Weimer got sent up the track. What's going on back here with Mika Hegstrom? As he's working the inside of the 48 of Treadwell. Treadwell gives plenty of room, gives up 2 spots there in the same corner as Bowles. Follows Hagstrom through. Right behind him, Bob Wyckoff, Skylar Carnes starting to get on each other. Treadwell misses the braking zone, goes up the track. He's going to lose 3 that time.
He did eat some curb there. That's it's not the tastiest meal available in Martinsville, Virginia.
It's better tasting than the damn hot dogs they have. Oh, you gotta have a Martinsville Red Hot. No, I don't. Those things suck. I had heartburn for 2 days after eating 1.
I was going to say it's likely up for debate, but maybe not. As looks like we're getting a battle for second here once again, as Charles Roberson trying to get back at Chris Worrell.
Couple car lengths separating the 2 of them. And
Yellow flag is out.
there it is.
Cook is around, as is Wyckoff on the outside of 1.
1. There we see Derek Cook in the 17. Wyckoff is behind him at this point. There's Wyckoff. Okay.
Oh,
What happened to Wyckoff? Let's find out.
I don't know, but
Good head of steam. Misses the braking zone going into 3. Gets up into the marbles. Bounces it off the safety barrier. Comes down track. Slight contact with the 17. Bounces it off the wall. And then they both eat turn 1.
I hope for his sake that he didn't have much steering input in that one, because that did not look.
Well, let's find that one again.
That looks fairly slam dunk coming down the track, to be honest. And he just lost
That
it a bit
steering
on
wheel was
throttle.
pointed straight up and down.
Yeah, he
That
just
car
lost
was
it on throttle as well.
Yeah, that car was going down the track on its own.
And as I'm back looking at live,
Yeah.
this is exactly what I was thinking for Linus Broström is he didn't pit when the rest of the field did. Because he didn't exactly have any way of knowing when everyone else would pit.
Right.
So Worrell pit, and then obviously a decent chunk of drivers behind him followed. But Broström being ahead wouldn't have been able to react to it. So he's out front still on 124 lap old tires, though racing laps minimal.
He has led the most green flag laps here tonight. The pace driver has led the most laps overall.
Yeah. But the official standings will say Linus Broström has led
The
End of
first
sentence.
half of this race.
Yeah. Sentence ends.
So if he leads one more lap, he's clinched most laps led.
Of which he will lead another lap because we're going to be coming on to lap 126.
Right. Which would put us at the halfway mark.
Yeah.
So 125
Green,
in the
green.
books right now. Broström gets a good getaway. Skoglund and Solo going after each other.
Oh, they're 3 wide.
Oh no.
Nah, something's going wrong here.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
There
Hold
it
it.
is. We got a cone parked in the middle of the track again.
Oh, okay. That was.
Well, don't spoil it. Let's see what's going on here. They're 3 wide in front of him. Worrell being the meat in that sandwich. As we're keeping an eye on the 99 of Iskandar, who was one of the ones that was parked in turn 3. Brian Chu just, the only way you can call that, he ass-packed him.
Yeah. I just don't know whether that was an unusually early break point for the 99 or whether
Not
the 18
really.
just kind of missed. Yeah, that doesn't seem too ridiculous of a breaking point. But how long do you reckon a fuel tank lasts when you're driving most of your race at 30 miles an hour?
How much of a fill were they given?
65%.
150 laps anyways?
Interesting. Because if fuel wasn't a factor, honestly, if I were Linus Broström, it's a point of, would you bother pitting until you're not leading?
I wouldn't pit until my crew chief tells me, hey, you got about 2 laps of fuel left.
Yeah.
I'm coming in next time by at that point.
If I were him, I wouldn't pit until I was either A, not in the lead, or B, pretty much empty.
Which one can definitely lead to the other.
Yeah. Which, hopefully it doesn't for Broström. I have a feeling that we'll get just enough time to see new tires shine, and Brostrom may get naturally overtaken.
Well, let's find out. His lights are out on the pace car as it gets ready to make that hard left turn. There it goes down pit road. Brostrom has the button one more time. Skoglund on the outside lane trying to spot up.
Green flag, green flag.
Brostrom jumps on the loud pedal. Solo tries to go with him. Skoglund was back a little bit. Let's see if that's going to cost him at all, as it cost everybody else that's done that. Colin Forster in the 1 goes side by side with Charles Robertson, your battle for 10th. And the 17 peels it off to go pit side.
Looks like we got some interesting battling as Chris Worrell is making his way back up the field. He's up into 4th at the moment, and the 41 is right next up on his special Halloween shopping block.
4 wide. Oh my goodness.
What?
The 66 just took it into turn 1, 4 wide. Luckily, heads up driving for everybody.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Do we need to get you new glasses, or is everyone just that crazy?
No, they did it. Something happened with Dan Solo there. Problems continue for the only Volvo in the field tonight.
Okay, yeah, I just rewound. You're not wrong. That's scary. Brostrom is answering the question of when he'll pit. It's now.
Solo went around there. Just too much throttle input. There's the 4 wide that I was talking about. Let's take a look at this one, though, because this is what happened to Alex Weigert. Nope, that's not what happened to Weigert. Jason Ricketts that I was looking at there. There we go. Now we got it, I think. 47 just runs him and the 7 up the track. Grosso missed his braking zone going into 1, and that led to that 4 wide situation. And then the caution was inevitable at that point. So, by reason of Linus Brostrom finally bringing that car down for 4 fresh tires and a fresh tank of Go Fast, that hands the lead of the race over to Chris Worrell. Jalen Battle sits in 2nd. Colin Forrester, Jeff Weimer, and Daniel Solo rounding out your top 5. Marcus Hagman, Skylar Carnes, Josh Grosso, Alex Weigert, and Ricky Hudgens making up your top 10. And lights are out on the pace car, Jason.
Yeah, they are, and Chris Worrell was asking for a caution count. I'd say around about 17?
18th.
18. So if you are listening, Chris, the answer to your question is 18, although that may change by the time we get
Yeah.
that message
Green
gets through to you.
flag, green flag.
As leader definitely knows what to do
Yellow, yellow,
when
yellow.
it comes to the restarts. And
Well, that's
pitting didn't
no bueno
go
there.
pitting didn't go too well for Linus.
I noticed this. So we are now under caution number 19. Working lap 141. Let's see what happened to the 16 being scored at the 44. Solid getaway on the fresh tires, cold tires as well. 3 wide situation going through 1 and 2. Oh. Let's watch that again. Keep your eye on the 27 of Van der Strick. There he is with the for sale sign on the hood of that Ford Mustang. 41 in the 16 or 19, bring it 3 wide. Brostrom is there, and as Van der Strick gets shot up the track, bang, boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah, seen similar multiple times, and it's really unfortunate that the guy who's led most of the race is the one that gets mainly caught up in this. But that's just how it goes. Sometimes Lady Luck can be cruel.
Yeah. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of racing action here on Sim Racing Media, as this is only the first race of our doubleheader here tonight on Sunday, with the Davis Brothers Roofing 250 to happen at Martinsville at 8:20 Eastern Time. Doubleheader tomorrow with the SCL International Cup Series. The Wonderful 150 at Chicagoland. That'll be an 8:30 Eastern Time start there. And the CleanRacing.net Truck Series is going to be here at Martinsville tomorrow as well. That is an 8:20 Eastern Time start on that one. So be sure to you're subscribed so you don't miss a single moment of action.
Yeah, it's getting ready to go green again.
Green, green, green.
As much the same for our leader getting away well.
Jalen Battle,
See what
after
happens.
restarting in third, jumps up into second place. Here comes the 15 of Dan Solo as the 10 of Weimer gets shuffled out, and Josh Grosso.
47 sideways. Looks like someone else was caught just after that as well.
And there's the 47. As he gets up into the marbles, goes to lay the power in. Okay.
Believe in the Formula One meme community, we would call that Zbinala.
Let's see it again here as I was on the wrong caution.
Oh.
Gets 2 tires onto the paved chow. Put 2 tires on the off the concrete, and around she went. Treadwell catching a piece of that one. Hopley, Carr, Chu, Cook. Looks like Curtis Kelly caught a piece of it as well. Here's Brian Chu in the 18. The 12 is slow. She's trying to... She hears something popping off, and she's doing everything she can to avoid it. Okay, so Brian Chu just slowed to get through that without hitting anything. So no real damage there. Chris V back on pit road. Derek Cook. Let's see what happened to Cook here. There's Cook in the 17. Running side by side with the guy that led the first half of this race. Alright, let's see what happened to Jackson Carr now. There he is in the yellow and pink 66. Just gets pit maneuvered by the 9.
Yeah, not ideal. And
20th caution.
20th caution, and not too long ago we were 100 to go with an hour to go, so if we average more than 50 miles an hour, then we will get to the amount of laps. If not, then it'll go to time. There's your fun fact for this caution. Stay tuned for the next fun fact.
Green, green, green.
As we go back, Green Worrell gets not as good of a getaway as he's gotten before, as Colin Forrester all over his back bumper now. Forrester gives Worrell some breathing room. It's the 24 and the 15. Bang doors coming through 3 and 4. And around goes Hagman.
That's
Curb.
yeah, exactly. And this isn't going to be my fun fact for the caution, as this isn't fun, but we have 3 drivers who have fallen for the DQ at this point in time. Michael Hagstrom, Mike Iskandar, and Jonas Skoglund. Marcus Hackman's only 1 off. Next closest would have been Alex Weggett and Zach Phillips, but they've both left the session. And No one is completely clean.
Well then.
As we spoke of people who are no longer here in this race, someone who couldn't be here in this race is Christian Malsharik,
Yes.
who notably racing in real life, and I believe he is Slovakian, correct?
Correct.
Well, the 30th of October just so happens to be the anniversary of the declaration of the Slovak nation.
Nice.
So it's I thought it would be a
Well, Jason, speaking of the Euro NASCAR Tour, did you hear what they're doing this coming February?
no.
They are holding the first ever NASCAR event on an ice course.
Oh,
Yes.
now that's
Hang
interesting.
on, we're not going green.
I want to see what they do for tires because I know what they use for ice drag racing,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna have to say that it's got to be something close to what they use there for what they're gonna have on all four corners of these cars. In which case, a live pit stop is going to be highly dangerous.
Yeah, I would imagine it's not gonna have pit stops. They don't. I mean, you don't tend to have them in things such as rallycross. I would imagine ice racing, you don't have many pit
Well,
stops.
most of their races are sprint races too, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
luckily, they're not going to have to worry about live pit stops. But
it's designs that you don't need
a
them.
similar sized outside diameter tire for ice drag racing, you've got 1,000 wood screws sticking up through the tire.
Yeah.
Green flag, green flag.
As we go green once again here. Decent little start this time round for Skylar Carnes, who's trying to wrestle second place away from Colin Forrester.
It seems whoever's been restarting in third has had the advantage over the non-leaders, as the 6 of James Bowles gets swallowed up. Goes up into the 4. They bang, and around goes Bowles.
Yellow flag is out.
I noticed Linus Brostrom's back up to 10th. He's sort of saying that damage doesn't really matter at this point by the looks of things. Or he's taking a fast repair.
He's probably taking his fast repair. Bowles has been missing his braking zone, trying to overdrive that number 6, and that time it came back to bite him in the backside. Coincidentally, I had just clicked on him because he was getting into a deep battle, and talk about clicking at the right time.
Yeah.
Blackjack, you lose. Here goes our free pass car. The 78 of Bob Wyckoff, which is going to leave us with Looks like 20 cars on the lead lap. Let's see if that holds true. 21. Rhea Ferris, the last car scored on the lead lap currently. Ooh.
I'm trying to look for some more fun facts.
Well, I could think of some more fun facts, but nobody's going to want to hear those little factoids. Although Martinsville, historically, for the NASCAR modified division and the super late model division, Martinsville was historically the last race of the season for both those categories for years.
Yeah.
And it wasn't uncommon for the championship to already be decided before they even rolled through the gates. Back in the mid to late 70s and the early part of the 80s. As a matter of fact, when 9-time NASCAR modified champion Richie Evans did lose his life here at that race weekend, he had already accumulated enough points before getting to Martinsville to clinch his 9th championship. Unfortunately, it was awarded to him posthumously as he lost his life during practice 1 for the super late model race that weekend.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag back out. Chris Worrell gets a good getaway. Here comes Forrester. Skylar Carnes has to check up. That's going to lose his momentum as Sam Solo now gets to his inside. Linus Prostrom trying to pick his way through traffic as he goes side by side with the double deuce. 4 wide, they're around.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Carnage. I was just going to say that...
that again.
I was just going to say that Carnes needed to get down to the bottom as he had a penalty to serve, and then that happened.
Something happened to the 15.
Yes. I'd recommend watching him for the cause of all that.
So there's Solo. He gets the inside of Carnes. Battle's trying to get into the inside as well. Oh, back end starts to step out on the 15. He goes up into the wall, collects everybody. Here's Charles Robertson. You're going to see it pop off in front of him. There goes the 15 up into the wall. Robertson, nowhere to go, just gets used as a pinball.
Yeah. And, my fun fact of caution number, what, 23?
22, I think.
22?
23rd, you're
As,
right, 23.
23! That's the equal iSNF record?
Yours and my personal record, yeah. The company record was set just the other day.
Well, we will see. 5 to go. As the 30th of October is also apparently known as Mischief Night.
Yes.
I didn't know this, but there you go.
That's where the whole trick or treat thing came in.
Yeah. Although now there are no tricks.
Oh, yeah, there are.
Does that land you in a bit of trouble with the police?
I know houses that still get toilet paper egged.
Oh, fair enough. Maybe they don't give out anything good, just fruit. But certainly been seeing a bit of mischief here tonight at Martinsville. As Linus Broström has just been disqualified.
He has?
He should be put back into the race because he's on 8X.
Green flag, green flag.
Okay.
We are green here once again. Forrester getting a great getaway. And Broström's gone.
And the 21 of Skylar Carnes gets popped. Has to serve a pass-through.
Yeah, he's able to serve that black flag that he was trying to last time round.
Yellow flag is out.
As there it is. It's like it was with Bob Wyckoff and Rhea Ferris.
Well, let's see what happened to the 78.
Ah. Ah.
Oh.
This one is best viewed from the cockpit camera. Cockpit cam tells all.
Well, looks like the back end just washed on him. Let's take a look at what the cockpit camera
There is a reason.
going to give us here. We are on board with him. Oh.
That is what we call a money shift.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely that's not good. I was wondering why the back end just washed out on him.
Yeah.
That would do
That'll
it.
happen.
That'll definitely
Yeah.
do it.
So what? Caution 24?
Yes.
24 in German. What is it in Swedish? And do I want to try and pronounce it? Tjugofyra,
That's all you.
apparently.
Sounds contagious.
It does, doesn't it? But just coming on to lap 180. Got 70 laps remaining and 42 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to time on this one.
We got 30 laps done in the last 18 minutes. So by this pace, we may actually get there. Able to get 1.66 laps done per minute. I was that by the 41 we got left, and it's close.
So the question out there that we asked earlier, what's your bucket list? Your 5 tracks that you have never been to that you want to go to before you pass from this mortal coil? I've already given my 5. Jason still has 1 left, and we want to hear from you folks. What are your
Green
top
flag,
5
green
tracks
flag.
anywhere in the world, any racing series?
Curtis Kelly and Ricky Hudgens getting some battling going here.
Yellow flag is out.
Well, they were.
Colin Forrester pointing the wrong way on the front stretch. Let's take a look at what happened to the ace. You can see he's sitting in second place. Curb? Nope. Just too much throttle input.
Unfortunately, we're not in Vegas because he was trying to spin to win.
Well, he's trying to pull a Danny Sullivan at Indianapolis.
This does not earn you anything here, unfortunately.
Except a one-way ticket to the dry cleaners and to the pits.
Yes.
.66 getting his lap back. Currently working lap 184 of 250 here. Caution number 25. Chris Worrell, Jeff Weimer, Curtis Kelly, Ricky Hudgens, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Brian Treadwell, Chris Van Mister, James Bowles, J.B. Banner, and Angel Hernandez. Rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. As we just saw the 66 of Jackson Carr get one of his lap back on the lead lap he goes. That leaves us with 18 still on the lead lap. As we've got a couple of retirements to speak of. Linus Brostrom, Jason Ricketts, Steven Sear, Alex Weigert, Jonas Skoglund, Mike Iskandar, Mikkel Hagstrom, and Zach Phillips have all decided to call it a night. Dan Solo is back out on track after spending 9 minutes getting that car repaired. Still has a possibility to make up a couple of laps.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lucky dog rule, and with a decent amount of cautions, you'd got a decent shot at it.
Well, no, what I'm saying is Dan Solo back in 26 can still get by Jason Ricketts and Linus Brostrom, who have both decided to put it on the hauler. As a matter of fact, he just passed Ricketts.
Yeah.
He's going to pass Brostrom on this lap. As the lights are out on the pace car.
I got you now.
Can you explain it to me? Because I confused myself, too. Pace car is in as Worrell pulls the trigger into the Geico restart zone. They go. And the 10 might have to serve a pass-through. Not maintaining pace speed.
No.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, son of a bitch.
We apologize for the use of language.
I have not yet begun to cuss.
Colin Forrester has decided to leave. JB Banner is really not happy, and he is DQ.
Well, let's take a look at the double deuce and Taylor Butcher Benjamin here. Gets into it with the 10. Around he goes. And... Oi!
Chris V has an EOL. Not like he'll need it. I don't know whether he knows or not, but he does not have a left front.
Take a look at what the eye in the sky picked up on the 22 here. This is on the restart going into 1 and 2. You see the 10 on the high side. Around goes the 22 and bang. One more time with feeling.
Well, you watch that. Dan Solo very much trying it. Asked whether he can have 13 wave rounds. The answer is unfortunately no.
So there goes the 22. Now watch coming out on your right side of your screen. The 27 tries to check up and cannot, unfortunately. And just clobbers the 22. And with the 22 sitting in front of the leader, that's going to leave us with 15 cars left on the lead lap. 26
Yes,
caution of the night.
26.
26.
2 more for a tie, 3 more for a record. At this point, let's go for it. Why not?
At this point, you might as well just go 30. I like nice even numbers.
Yeah.
Like that.
Even number, easy to remember, and it's still impressive enough that you go, wow.
So we're still waiting on people to let us know what their bucket list for racetracks consists of. I'm going to ask another question that I want the fans to interact with, Jason. And I want your input on this too.
Green.
Any year of your choosing, any series of your choosing, most beautiful race car ever produced.
The classic question. Of which I think my answer changes every time, to be honest.
Yeah,
But,
that's fair.
take a look at some on-track action, as we are actually green. Brian Treadwell doing some defending now from Angel Hernandez.
Hernandez a little bit of sketchy coming out of turn number 4. Charles Robertson right there as well as we are watching that battle. That is 6th through 8th. Jalen Battle in 9th, peeking into that little mix there. As Hernandez gets run up the track, he's going to lose 2. As Robertson sends it.
He does indeed, not the best outcome for the driver in number 4, but I've noticed for Treadwell,
Yellow flag is out.
he's had, I think, the best policy so far as we're back under caution again, caution number 27. I think Treadwell's had the best policy so far of just stay alive. I've just noticed him just running around, just trying to stay away from everyone. He is one of the least incidented drivers on 8.
Bob Wyckoff just did off of turn number 2 what everybody else has been doing off of turn number 4.
Oh,
And that is just give a little too much juice to the throttle pedal and the back end just snaps around on you.
yep.
Luckily, you didn't hit anything, though.
True.
Back end started to swing out, and Wyckoff immediately just locked it down. So good on you, sir, for not trying to save that and put the car in an even worse situation.
Yep. It's takes some skill to know when to try and save it and when to just accept your unfortunate fate.
Yes, sir. So we'd like to hear your feedback in the live chat. Most beautiful race car from any year, any series, anywhere in the world. And Jason, you went first last time, so I'll go first this time. The 1968 McLaren Can-Am car.
Yeah.
The one that Bruce McLaren actually drove.
Mm.
I believe it was him and Denny Hulme took those cars to multiple championships in a row in the Can-Am series.
I think my answer is going to be fairly well appreciated, being the Ferrari 330 P4. Came around in 1967.
Oh, the one that went head-to-head at Le Mans with Porsches.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Beautiful race car. Absolute beautiful race car.
Only 4 of them were ever produced. Just reading facts off now.
Which makes them even more rare.
Yeah, but 1 remains in its original form.
Because I think they
As it looks
wadded
like.
the other 3 during the filming of the movie of Le Mans.
Green, green, green.
Yes, we are green once again.
Weimer looking to the inside of the 45 of Curtis Kelly for second as Worrell with the 5-car length lead right now. James Bowles was trying to work the low side, trying to figure out what he had to do to get through there. As they're side by side for 7th, as well as Robertson and Battle going door to door.
Yeah, there's some more fighting towards the rear of our top 10 as Brian Treadwell getting passed by Marcus Hagman. And he's got John Hopley behind him. You need to check up a bit there.
He did check up to try to stay off of Brian Chu, who is a lap car, unfortunately. Chu currently mired back in 18th, 3 laps down after getting caught up in an earlier issue, as the 19 of Hopley goes way wide to stay out of trouble. And those are all lap cars passing him. Actually, Butcher Benjamin was for position. So that puts Hopley back to 13th. Butcher Benjamin plus 17 up into 12th.
Yellow flag is out.
Skylar Carnes pointing the wrong way on the front stretch, right inside the Geico restart zone. Let's take a look at what happened to the Bristol, Tennessee native here.
I'm not giving any prizes for guessing where that happened and why that happened.
Nice. Well, I mean, you think we would have learned at the Roval that this car hates curbing.
Yes.
And doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity.
And you're talking about hitting the curb or
Yes.
being under caution or
Yes.
still having leagues do races at Martinsville.
D, all of the above.
Yeah.
Currently working caution number 28. One away to tie, two away to get the outright record.
I thought this is a tie.
No, 29
You
was
said it
the
was
tie.
28.
29 was the tie.
Ah, not there quite
No,
yet.
you're right. 28 is the tie. We had that
Oh.
Thursday. 28 is the tie. 29 for the record.
And I have to say to our YouTube chat that
thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you for sticking with us. And unfortunately, that's the wrong yaw. So that is not true because to the best of my knowledge, we are both male. So we cannot be mother. Because that do say you are mother.
Yes, it does.
I am not mother.
Older guy walks up to a young guy at the bar, says, "I banged your mom. I banged your mom." And the kid looks up from his beer and says, "Go home, Dad, you're drunk."
So, get your bets in. We are coming on to 40 laps to go, with 24 minutes of this race remaining. Which is exactly on the same pace that we were the last time I mentioned time and laps together, of which we need to average 1.66 laps per minute to get to full race distance.
Right.
Green, green, green.
Morrill pulls the trigger.
Here we
10,
go.
the 10 of Weimer didn't go. We've got 2 disqualifications.
Immediately?
James Bowles and Charles Robertson gone.
Rip. That is unfortunate. Unfortunately, that's how it happens sometimes.
Unreal.
As no!
Yellow, yellow,
Angel
yellow.
Hernandez.
Let's take a look at what happened to the 4 there. We both saw it start to go. The 48 locks him up to try to stay off him, and just around she goes.
And with that, Tony, are you getting the fireworks, or shall I?
Yeah, no.
We got the record breaker.
We should be blowing taps right now.
It may not be a good record, but it's still a record nonetheless.
As just taking a quick look at the upcoming schedule here for the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Next week we'll be at Phoenix for the regular season finale with an open dog leg. That's got me worried. And then we start the round of 16 at the playoffs at Worldwide Technologies Raceway at Gateway. That'll be in November 13th. And then the following week, Jason, the one I know that you and I both circled on our calendar to call in sick on, the Charlotte Motor Speedway iSNF 600. I've used up all my sick days. I'm going to call in dead that day.
What doing on the 20th of November?
Sleeping. So,
I don't know.
Anywho. And that's the round of 16. Gateway and Charlotte's. And Charlotte's a full-length race.
So that's the endurance if you want to get through to the top 8 as lights are out on the pace car. As admittedly, this has been a bit of a test of endurance as well. Less physically.
The question is, how many more Dairy Queen awards are going to get handed out tonight?
Tyler Carnes is 1 away. Taylor Butch Benjamin is 1 away. Marcus Hagman is 1 away. Chris V is 3 away. Bob Wyckoff was 4 away. So those are the drivers under immediate threat as we are back under green flag conditions. Jackson Carr wasting no time at all getting past Jalen Battle.
Angel Hernandez working the outside of Matty Moniak. Right behind Marcus Hagman, your defending series champion. So that is your battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Solid top 10 finish for Matty tonight. This is what happens when you keep your car relatively clean.
Yeah, I mean, in something like this, if you manage to keep it clean, then you're golden.
Absolutely, as the 48 goes way up the track into the wall.
That's
How is that
not
a
a caution? Okay, the NASCAR officials were sleeping.
Sure.
We're sending someone down to wake them up. But that does not bring us to the round number of 30. And I'm just looking at Marcus Hagman here with Moniak and Kelly right behind him. I'm going to be honest, if anyone even came close to me and I was Marcus Hagman, I would just dive out the way, considering he's 1x away from DQ.
Well, at this point, you're almost better off just taking it down pit road for a couple of laps. Because the worst you're going to get, as of right now, is 15.
Yeah. Still a very solid points haul. And finishing anywhere is surely better than being DQ'd.
As Ricky Hudgens in the 50 deuce, working on the outside of Jalen Battle. Battle going to send it going into 1. Plenty of room given between those two. But, Jason, watch the rear brake rotors on both the 52 and the 4. And you can see just how hot those things are getting. They're still glowing on corner exits.
Yeah. I mean, Not surprising with how they got to use the rear brakes to turn the cars in, and I'm actually more surprised that we haven't seen more people spinning under braking, just with the amount of rear bias that you'd want to run.
Yeah, I mean, you're
It's
absolutely right on that one.
easy enough to make a little mistake.
21 laps to go. Chris Worrell continues to show the way as the 55 finally coming out of the pits after over an hour.
And Jeff Weimer currently being pushed round Martinsville by the 66 as Jackson Carr finally pulling out to make that move, and Jeff Weimer just decides not to fight it. I think that's fair enough. Keep it nice and safe here.
Checking back in with that battle for
No! Don't tell me that caused it. Oh, I know, tried well.
Let's take a look at what happened to the 48 here.
I was watching Weimer and I thought he'd just spun himself, but he was taking some avoiding action.
And that happened right in front of the leader. Holy cow.
And we got the big 3-0.
This is what Chris Worrell saw. Oi! That was the first you say it, then you do it kind of moment. And it looks like the left front suspension on the Lowe's number 48 is not connected.
That's unfortunate. He was keeping it very clean throughout the race, and shows one small mistake does it.
Yep. And that is going to leave us with 11 on the lead lap. Depending on what they do here for the lucky free pass, whatever you want to call it. Nope. 11 cars left on the lead lap. Chris Worrell, Jackson Carr, Jeff Weimer, Jalen Battle, Angel Hernandez, Ricky Hudgens, Curtis Kelly, Matty Moniak, Marcus Hagman, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, your top 10. John Hopley, the only other car on the lead lap. Everybody else one or more laps down.
Yeah, it's been a battle of attrition, and Tony, I hope you've got some interview questions lined up, because I have no idea what to ask.
Yeah, I got a few.
I'm gonna be honest, I normally ask questions based on what I see while racing, but we haven't exactly had the largest sample size to work with.
Well, we have a three-car tie right now for biggest mover award. Chris Worrell, Jalen Battle in 4th, and Ricky Hudgens in 6th are all sitting plus 26. As into the Geico restart zone they go, and we are back underway. As Weimer and Battle go door to door down the back straightaway. Battle going to get the run as the 4 gives the chrome horn to Weimer. Hernandez not a happy camper right now. Thinks he's getting blocked. He's going to dive to the inside, send it, going into one. 13 laps to go.
Yep, so at this point where you really start thinking about racing people hard, as the 4 is now facing the wrong way. And PBB is gone. We've got some people in the pits. Jeff Wayne and Ricky Hudgens coming down pit road. Tony, you still there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to run the replay here and see what the heck is going on here.
Okay.
So here's Hernandez, goes up, pinches into the 10. The 10, nowhere to go, is up against the wall. Hernandez turns himself. Taylor Butcher Benjamin biffs it and gets the Dairy Queen Award.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, with more angles, I'm not sure whether the 4 turned himself or whether the 10 came down slightly. I think it was...
The 10 was up against the wall.
I think it was 6 of one and half dozen of the other, if you choose the right camera angles, to be honest. But it looks like we are actually going to go to laps unless we spam overtime. Because we are going to be on 8 to go when we next cross the line. And I'd say for the people choosing to pit, that's actually a fairly smart move at this point in time.
Yeah, might as well take tires. What the hell?
Because if you've got, let's be honest, there are 10 cars lead lap. You've got pretty much nothing to lose. Unless you're top 3. If there's another caution, I would expect to see basically everyone coming into the pits.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely look at it that way. Well, we're about to turn them loose as Angel Hernandez and Rio Ferris tagging onto the tail end of the field. Worrell and Carr going to bring us back to green. Field working its way out of turn number 4 and into the Geico restart zone they go. Worrell just has to hang on for 7 more laps. Battle to the inside of Carr going into 1. That is your slugfest for second place. Contact for second.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Yeah.
And Angel Hernandez has, I believe, been DQ'd after that last one.
Yep.
He has. That, once you go and look at it, admittedly, I have to say, I can't say anything other than he did that to himself.
Let's take a look at what happened with John Hopley here. That's Hernandez right behind him. Ow.
Yeah.
There's Hernandez. Again, Hopley in the 19 right in front of him. Sends Brian Chu into the outside wall. And yep, that was a Dairy Queen award handed out in a timely fashion.
Am I right in saying this is going to be green, white checker numero uno?
See.
Nice. Will be 2 to go when we get it back underway. Presumably on lap. Well, I think start racing on lap 250.
How many attempts at a green, white checker do we have, Jason?
If it says it in race info, I can't see it anywhere.
No, all you do is bring up the in-sim overlay.
Yep.
And it'll tell you at the little box that shows where you're...
Yeah, it's just popped up. 1 out of 3.
Okay.
Although I think we'll get to time before we get to 3, so...
You are correct, sir. Because we've only got 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in this session.
I've got it counting as 3 minutes 40, so we'll see whichever one of those is correct.
Race time 2:21:25.
Yes. They got 2 hours 25, not 2 hours 30.
Oh, I thought they had 2:30. Oh, yeah, no, you're
Green,
right.
green, green.
You're absolutely right. We've only got... We're going to get one shot at this.
As Chris Worrell gets it going. Battle's going to be for 3rd by the looks of things. Matty Moniak and Jackson Carr going at it. 31 pushing the 66 out. That's going to let the 45 get a good run to his inside. Bit loose off the turn, though. Contact between the two of them. There's going to be a caution here. The 31
White
round.
flag is out. We're racing
There
back
won't
to
be a
checkers,
caution.
baby.
True. I'm too used to seeing that yellow flag that I forgot the white one existed.
Coming out
Chris
of turn number
Worrell's
4.
In the lead to win it.
Jalen Battle hangs on for second. Curtis Kelly, after using the elbows out style, coming home, rounding out your podium. And take a look at the positions gained by your top 3. Chris Worrell, your race winner, plus 26. Jalen Battle, second place, plus 28. Curtis Kelly, third place, plus 28. What a finish.
And I've got to say that that contact at the end between Kelly and between himself and Moniak, that I wouldn't say that was Curtis Kelly's fault.
It wasn't malicious in any way. It was just a racing deal.
I'm pretty... Kelly couldn't have done anything to avoid it, so completely fair play on...
oh, yeah.
On his part, as...
they were just leaning
I
on each
remember,
other, that's all.
Yeah, I remember saying at the start of the broadcast that this is one that you probably would want to qualify well for. Yes, I'm wrong?
No, well, I mean, normally, but, you know, guys who know how to get it done here definitely know how to get it done here.
Yeah.
As Jason, I believe you've got the Pied Piper of Suffolk, Virginia with you now.
Yeah, Chris. Hello. Congratulations on the win, and it was an interesting race.
To say the least, yeah.
I mean,
What do you say?
I'm gonna be honest. I lack questions to ask because it seemed fairly straightforward once you got into the lead.
Yeah, I understand. I don't know what to think myself. Yep, just stayed out because there was literally no racing. Everyone wrecked, every lap, no accountability. I just stopped there. I have respect for the owner and the admins and everybody else that runs it. I don't want to sound like I'm crying every time I get in this interview room, but I literally feel sick. I'm so dizzy from just pacing around. So it is what it is. But thank you for congratulations. I'm glad I got the win. I hope we can actually race next weekend. And
Yep.
Yep.
Well, Chris,
Well,
the good news is that does move you into the first driver to get to 4 wins this season.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This isn't a win. Nobody deserved to win this race. This wasn't a race. The most racing I did was with Charles there and Scott there at the end and Linus a little bit. And I mean, we all three of those guys when we were racing up front maybe raced them for about 25 laps altogether. That's all three of them. So I mean, there's just no racing. I don't know what else to say. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised we're still having a broadcast right now. To be honest with you, y'all still awake. But
New race record, 31 cautions.
31. Wow. JB was keeping count for us, but I guess he got wrecked out a long time ago. I can't even remember, sometime yesterday. But yeah. Anyway,
it is for me.
that's crazy. I've never been in I don't think I've been in an NIS race. It's been that much. But hopefully, guys will take accountability and run some laps at Phoenix before we go there next weekend, because this, the league's too cool of a league. There's a lot of cool people in here to just do this every weekend. So
Yeah, and I think the best thing to do after a race like this is to look forward at the next race. Obviously, no pressure on your shoulders for next week. But what are your thoughts going into Phoenix?
I just hope we can, do some racing. I hope anybody in the league that's listening to this will go and run some laps, instead of just showing up on Sunday and just winging it, because Martinsville's a hard track. Phoenix is going to be loose too, so getting like 15 lap runs, and I'm talking about last week. I think last week we got like a 15 lap run. That was the best we got. That's just not racing anymore. I hope a lot of these guys quit taking advantage of the league and just put in some effort so we can have some racing. It's not fair to Rhea or the admins, or the people that show up every weekend. Yeah. I just need to quit talking about it. I'm sorry I'm just so dizzy right now from sitting there. But
Understandable,
anyway,
Chris. Understandable.
Yeah,
We can feel your
anyway.
frustration.
Yeah,
I just need to go get something to eat. I'm moody.
we'll let you go and take a break from the screen, and thank you for sticking it out in the end and winning this one.
Yeah, same to you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to JGR team, all the admins and everybody that stuck around. Appreciate y'all.
So that was our race winner, Chris Worrell. Joining us now, the pride of Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Jalen Battle. And Jalen, you hung in there and you survived for second. That's about all I can say about tonight.
Yeah, same, pretty much. Just kind of survived and was there at the end somehow. Not much really say about that one. I don't think we got any green flag run over 20 laps there. Just kind of avoiding the wrecks, and then getting in the right lane on the restart, which was mainly, it was the outside if you're in the back and it was the inside if you're in the front. So passing was kind of hard to do out there. one-lane track as Martinsville usually is. But
Says the man that was tied for biggest mover at 28.
okay, well, I didn't qualify for another reason. Was glued to the real race, but no, yeah, I'll take B2. I don't think I had anything for Chris there at the end. Just never really got to see what I could do on a long run. I know on a short run I wasn't as fast as some of those other guys. Just was inconsistent on my shifting points, and I couldn't really carry the corner how I used to in the old cars. But yeah, B2, can't be too mad at that. So.
Well, we go from one track that there's nowhere to hide if something pops off in front of you to the other track where there's nowhere to hide if something pops off in front of you. As we go to the D-shaped Demon of the Desert next week in Phoenix, what are your thoughts going into that race?
Oh, we'll see what I can do there. Phoenix has been very hit or miss for me. Either have something for the win or get wrecked or kind of just a top 10 car. So we'll see. Me on the backstretch, you can go about 8 wide. So if you saw people are cooking the corner here, it'll be a fun time at Phoenix. But yeah, we'll go there and see if we can get a win here before the playoffs start. Gather a few points. I don't know if points mean too much, but we'll see. Go there for the win. So
far, you're pointed in.
Oh,
but
yeah.
A win would definitely cement it.
Oh, yeah, no. Another one would be great. I think you get more playoff points. So
Yes.
I definitely another one would be great. We'll go there for that. But
no, I'm sorry. You are already locked in. I take that back. I apologize.
Yeah. Thank goodness for Texas, but no. So shout out to Hendrick Motorsports and all the guys in the Discord. It's always fun chatting with them throughout the race. And shout out to them, Rhea and her team. Hopefully they can get everything figured out and under control. And again, shout out to you guys. Always put on a great broadcast for us to go back and watch. So other than that, I think I'll see you guys next week.
All right, Jalen Battle, congratulations on the podium here. We'll see you next week in Phoenix.
Yep, thanks, guys.
And joining us now, driver of the 2311, number 45, Curtis Kelly, tied for biggest mover at plus 28, but it probably doesn't feel that way, does it?
Yeah. Kind of wish went a little different at the end. Couldn't fight too much there with just how chaotic it had been. Couldn't really risk getting a DQ like I'm sure you saw other people get. But just happy to bring it home in the top 5. Get a podium there thanks to other people trying to brake later than they braked all race on worse tires than they've been on all race kind of thing. Like not gonna work. But yeah. Got the win in the Xfinity race earlier, so we're hoping for a strong finish here, and happy to see Chris got the win there. Would have been nice to bring it home, but it's a good race there for the people that finished up front, I'd say. Deserved finishes, but long one tonight.
Well, Curtis, you did the 2311 team proud here tonight. Do you guys have snow up in St. John's yet?
Nope, nothing yet. Still staying warm. Actually, it was 20 degrees this past week.
Nice.
Crazy as that is. But,
hey, that's pretty decent. But Curtis, we go into Phoenix next week. What are your thoughts going into the desert?
I like short tracks like we ran tonight for the reasons they run like a road course, and that's the reason I like Phoenix. They're a little bit less traditional, or some other discipline skills start to come in there, be it racecraft or braking zones. So looking forward to that, so long as we can keep it clean. Phoenix can be a little hectic, but should be good. And it's going to be another race where qualifying and track position matters. Unfortunately, didn't run qualifying today, so that kind of set us back and put us in the chaos.
Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose to go celebrate a podium with your team?
I mean, just big thanks to people that run the league, Rhea, everybody that's stepping up in admin lately, be it Maddie and whoever else, and you guys for broadcasting. And shout out to the team like usual.
Curtis Kelly, congratulations on surviving Martinsville. We'll see you next week in Phoenix.
Yep. Happy Halloween, everybody.
And Jason, unfortunately, I just got booted from the server on time.
Yeah, I did as well.
So
luckily, I can still see the results.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any way to bring results up.
Oh.
It won't let me do it. Nope.
Do you want me to rattle them off quickly?
Yeah, we already spoke to Chris Worrell, Jalen Battle, and Curtis Kelly, your top three. Jackson Carr in his debut race coming home in fourth after starting outside row one. Ricky Hudgens rounding out your top five. Rhea Ferris, good run for her, coming home in sixth. Jeff Weimer, and the best finish of the season for Matty Moniak, coming home in eighth. John Hopley in ninth. Marcus Hagman rounding out your top 10.
Yep. I have Hackman and Hopley the other way around, so I'm not sure. Not sure which way around that officially will be, but either way.
I've got them in
ninth
ninth and 10th, so we'll let Rhea figure out who's where.
Yeah, and then we've got Brian Chew in 11th, Derek Cook in 12th, Brian Treadwell 13th, Bob Wyckoff and Angel Hernandez rounding out your top 15. Then it goes solo, Telich Benjamin, Chris V, James Bowles, and Charles Roberson for your top 20. And then
Josh Grosso coming home in 21st. Skylar Carnes, Colin Forrester, JB Banner, Linus Brosum, your top 25. Jason Ricketts, Stephen Sear, Alex Weigert, Jonas Skoglund, and Mike Iskandar, your top 30. Jason?
Sorry, where did you get? So I was distracted.
30.
30. And Mike Iskandar, Tommy Stanley, and Zach Phillips round out the field.
So that is going to do it for us tonight from Martinsville. Be sure to join us here in about 3 minutes as Sunday Night NASCAR takes over Martinsville for the Davis Brothers Roofing 150. But for Mr. Jason Sauford, this is Tony Trapasso, reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again and as you walk down the road of life this week, whatever you do, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
Good night.